Last time on the Great Ace Attorney 2. No doubt you've heard the sickening news. We must bring charges against the Reaper for taking the life of our legendary detective. In fact, this is a fine opportunity for introductions. Mr. Asogi here will be present at tomorrow's proceedings. Leading the prosecution.
I called it! It was a personal request. I asked to be assigned to the trial.
Kazuma, the last time that you said, "I'll be real soon," you then hit your head on a cat and then what? Gone for my life for about 5 years or something.
Hit his head on a cat.
Tripped on a cat and hit his head on a cat. There was a cat involved and he hit his head.
Got his arm swallowed by a snake. The Russians came and it's just like, oh my god.
But just because the gun in question is the same type as the defendant's, it's no proof that it actually is. It's no proof it actually is. I am so angry I can't even talk. What is happening? Casimir is a prosecutor. This guy is guilty as if.
Mr. Naruhodo, could you please control your judicial assistant?
Before you go, Ryunosuke, I actually have a favor to ask. This trial I'll be prosecuting tomorrow. I'd like you to be there to see how it ends. Right in front of me, as the defense counsel.
But Lord Van Zeeks would never put his fate in my hands.
On the contrary, he recognizes your talent. Here, have a look at this.
Oh, that's a smile?
Oh, that's so cute.
That is pretty cute.
Lord Van Zeeks, we came by this old photograph.
Where did you get that?
Is the man on the left there?
That's my brother, Clint. We were brothers in arms, jovially discussing the future of justice. That was a nice glimpse of the past. I thank you.
I felt your animosity the first time I ever faced you in the courtroom.
I mean,
it wasn't exactly subtle. Was
yeah,
it?
not subtle at all.
Sailor breathe. Sailor breathe.
I'm afraid to say that we were very ignorant about Inspector Gregson's standing. We hear that he was considered something of a legend.
Again, it was 10 years ago that he first made a name for himself by uncovering a decisive piece of evidence that exposed the professor's identity. If it wasn't for Gregson's singular approach to the case, the discovery would never have been made. Good day, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Disillusion Plays The Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve, where we play the games and do the voices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Pete.
I'm Sarah.
And I'm Taylor.
Nice. And if you like what we do and find yourself enjoying today's video, why don't you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and ring the bell.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh no, the
Oh,
organs.
right.
But what couldn't he deny?
Indeed. I couldn't deny it, even though I dearly wished I could.
Sorry, what were we talking about again?
Here is a loathsome Nipponese who has absolute integrity as a lawyer.
That's it. You
That is.
continue to be
I mean,
racist.
I mean, I guess that's about as backhanded a compliment as you can get. But
There are only two other men I've known with that same look in their eyes. My brother, Clint, and Genshin Impact. I only did that for you, Taylor, I'm sorry. And Genshin Asogi.
the man he idolized and the man who betrayed his trust in the most hideous way, consuming his Terry's chocolate orange while his back was turned.
A heinous crime.
I mean, that would be Pete's, like, that would devastate Pete.
I would be quite upset. If I knew that
Yeah,
I was...
if Disillusion Plays ever breaks up, it'll be because when I've gone over to visit, I'll have accidentally eaten Pete's Terry's chocolate orange.
If I knew that I was having a chocolate orange and then I found out that you had consumed it, I would be sad.
He would be very
I
sad.
would be sad.
I would have to console him for weeks.
No, I would just go to a shop and buy another. Sorry, a store. I would go to a store and buy another. That's all. But
But not too fast.
But I would be frustrated at the inconvenience of having to go to a store to buy one. Especially
would you want to wander around the store to look for other things?
It depends if I was in a foreign country and I wasn't used to the produce that's available there. That's all.
Pete's not bitter.
I don't have a problem. When you showed me that photograph just now, it reminded me.
You mean this photograph? Yes, the one that you showed me 10 seconds ago? Yes, that one, Mr. Naruhodo.
Back when I was able to laugh, I was free of the shackles of mistrust that plague me now. I looked to the future with hope.
Hope?
No.
This is what I mean when I say about how I'm unable to laugh.
Yeah.
Since then, I've protected myself against betrayal by refusing to trust anyone. But at times, the mire into which I've sunk makes it almost impossible to breathe.
I'm so sorry.
This is a hill of my own making. I shall ascend it. So, Mr. Naruhodo, I want to believe in that look in your eyes. I need to believe in it. In tomorrow's trial, will you advocate for me?
Oh, asked him.
He did.
Of course I will. It would be an honor.
You don't have to brown-nose me about it.
Get your nose from up my butthole, Mr. Naruhodo.
Gracious me.
I'm so pleased, Mr. Naruhodo.
And I'm starting to wonder if I should regret my decision. Then my life is in your hands.
No pressure.
For Lord Van Zeeks, that must have been an incredibly hard thing to ask. Which is why I simply cannot let the man down. Tomorrow, in the Old Bailey, against my old friend Kazuma.
Oh, baby.
Things are heating up.
And not just in Britain. Wait a minute.
Wait,
Wait a minute.
That's
The
a
game-
statement I never thought I'd ever hear.
It's like, wait a minute. The game's set in Britain, and we're also in Britain, and it's boiling.
Yeah, that's the problem, is all of Britain's infrastructure is dependent on it being 90% covered by clouds.
Yes.
The British people are not meant for any more than like 1 or 2 hours of sunlight a day.
No.
They're like a delicate houseplant. They will wilt.
Well, I don't know about more than that much sunlight. It's more just the general heat, that's all, really.
Yeah.
All right, then. The antechamber.
There's that old familiar feeling again.
Of being in the
Again?
antechamber.
The crushing pressure of this historic courthouse. Actually, no. It's a little different today. There's an even more menacing tension in the air.
And then the camera pans across and Strongheart's right there. Oh, Sarah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You did
it again!
He's stolen the joke
I
for a
saw it.
second time!
What you need? Then, Sarah, you must assert yourself.
No, because I don't like interrupting.
Well, you have to. Otherwise, you'll be fated to have your jokes stolen forever.
Yeah, all I was going to say, and then Strongart's just behind him looming like a great shadow.
Oh dear. Oh no, it's just Sato.
Am I that frightening? I didn't put makeup on this morning. There is a menacing tension in the air here today, isn't there? I suppose.
Yes, I think so.
Oh, there's that menacing tension.
It can only be the result of the menacing appearance of the defendant.
A little more courtesy, if you please.
Oh my! I do apologize.
I feel like I might be regretting my decision. However, you're certainly not mistaken that this trial is far from ordinary.
What do you mean?
I'm not privy to the details. However, I understand that no jury has been selected.
Oh,
Wait, what?
is it? They're treating it like the professor. Oh, might advance the text, yeah.
A trial without a jury? Well, that's just like the trial of the professor 10 years ago.
It's just like the old Ace Attorney games. before they introduce the new mechanics.
Well, at least, guys, we don't have to worry about forgetting the voices.
I wouldn't be so sure about that. I feel like something's going to happen and we're going to be like, oh no. It turns out that there's no jury. You have to voice the entire gallery.
Oh, Jesus.
A closed court.
Oh!
Good morning, my dear fellow.
Oh, his hair's back to normal again.
Well,
Mr. Sholmes!
have you made note of my hair, Mr. Naruhodo? An outright victory for science. You must agree. Why are you not saying anything?
Unless the top of his head is a different
Yeah, yeah.
and he's covering it with the hat.
Or like he takes his hat off and it's just bald.
Oh,
he looks like a friar.
Yeah, it's like because like if you bleach your hair too much, it falls out, right?
Yeah.
Maybe something like that.
Oh, Jesus.
Mr. Naruhodo. Hello.
Are you quite well?
Yes.
To be perfectly honest, so much happened yesterday that, well, I completely forgot about your little hair problem.
What is one man? Wait, what is one man?
But
But a miserable pile of secrets. But enough talk. Have at you. Anyway, what to one man is a little hair problem.
At
Is
least
to
it's
another
not a short hair's problem.
is to another a day of drinking dubious potion after dubious potion.
Oh, dear.
You have no idea how my stomach ails me this morning.
Oh, I think we do. Is that you, Mr. Sholmes? Oh, dear. How awful for you.
So that's what that awful growling is.
Sounds like a bear.
And squelching and
Oh.
churning.
I'm afraid you only have yourself to blame, Mr. Sholmes.
And
God, look at Van Zeek's shoulders.
Yeah, that's so broad.
Jesus
it's
Lord.
It's called pauldrons.
He's swallow like Solo. He's just a wide boy.
Oh, no. Does that mean he's got a chest like Kylo Ren? Oh,
What, just
Adam
perfectly,
Driver, sorry.
perfectly barren.
No, just wide. Like extra
Well,
wide.
that's the-
It's like unnaturally wide.
And good morning to you, Mr. Reaper. I'm delighted to see you looking so full of vim. And are you? I see London's celebrated great detective is as active as ever. Oh, you exaggerate, my dear fellow. Compared to my paltry engagements with a few trivial cases, the Reaper's overbearing presence is a far greater deterrent to the black roots of crime in our capital.
I wish you wouldn't call me that.
And whilst I may not agree with your methods, there is at least one point on which I would readily commend you. What an honor. And that would be your eye for a good lawyer, sir.
Mr. Sholmes.
After all, behind this lawyer there is a very great mind. My own.
Ah, you weren't giving me a
Oh,
compliment.
there it is.
What are you trying to say? I wish only to say that you should be prepared for quite a trial, Mr. Reaper.
Oh, God.
Is Sholmes going to help him? Is Sholmes going to be
Help
there?
or
Help. Yeah. I
Wow.
wonder if Sholmes is going to be there alongside Susato, I wonder.
I'm going to be fulfilling the role of the entire jury.
Oh, no! Well, I won't forget the voice.
He just runs around and just periodically sits in different seats and like puts on a fake moustache and a hat and one of those glasses with the big nose on.
I mean, that's hilarious. That's a delightful idea. Sorry to
barge in.
Lord
Gina?
Strongheart.
It might be Gina.
I don't think that's. Oh no, Makoto.
Let's say it's. Do you want to say it's
Gina.
Gina saying it? Should we say it's Gina?
I don't think that was Gina. I think that was Makoto.
Sorry to barge in.
Gina! What's that on her arm?
No more, yeah.
It's a mourning band, I suppose.
Father! Shouldn't you be at the symposium?
It's been postponed, so I have some free time. I decided to come along with the police inspector to see our country's up-and-coming student in action. No pressure, Mr. Naruhodo.
I will judge you.
I won't judge you too much. However, Susato, if he fails, you are not to linger with him any longer.
Pretend you don't know him, and leave the court as soon as possible.
And don't even think about a relationship. I shall be very interested to see the fruits of your studies over the past year.
Well, it's an honor to have you here. And let's hope there are some fruits to see.
Odo.
Oh, yes, Gina?
Why'd you agree to this, eh? Why'd you take him on?
Oh, of course. Gina. Oh, Gina. Didn't Gina tell us specifically not to as well?
yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
This Reaper bloke. Everything says it was him. What killed the boss?
I'm sorry, Gina. But I just don't believe that.
Well, if it weren't him, who was it?
I don't know that. Yet.
I don't care who calls him what. A Reaper's just a name. He's just a person at the end of the day. And if it turns out it was him what killed the boss, then God help him.
I might just kill him myself.
Gina, that might defeat the point.
I am standing right here.
Fiery eyes, indeed. Yes, the culprit deserves every ounce of your loathing.
Eh?
At least, that may be some solace to the deceased. I don't like this animation.
Please, Odo.
Makes me feel bad.
I know.
Yeah.
Get whoever did this. For the boss. Oh, Gina. I hate feeling this useless, but there's nothing I can do. So you've got to find out who done this and make the wretch pay.
Counsel for the defence and the defendant. Court will be in session shortly. Make your way to the courtroom at once, please.
All right, then. Here we go.
It's time, Mr. Naruhodo. Lord Van Zeeks.
Oh, you know what? I guess it's when I do that voice that people can't tell us apart, Pete.
Which one?
Let's get into the courtroom now, please.
Yes. Yes, of course, absolutely. We are so similar.
One who lost his treasured brother to a mass murderer.
One who lost his treasured brother to a mass murderer. I mean, it's kind of similar. But I don't do that voice, so...
One who lost his treasured father in a foreign court of law. And one who lost the man who helped her escape destitution.
Oh, it's a barrel of laughs today, innit? Goodness.
All that misfortune, all that pain, on course to collide headlong in this trial. It's time to shine a light on all these dark events.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Find the truth.
Oh.
Why is
And Mr. Sholmes is also here.
Yeah.
And whatever truth is revealed, we're going to have to look it straight in the eye.
And it shows Sholmes not showing his eyes.
Well, he's hiding something.
He is
isn't
hiding
He won't.
stuff, yeah.
There's something that he's alluded to telling them, but he hasn't told. He won't tell them. So.
2nd of November, 9:20 a.m., the Old Bailey courtroom.
Oh wow, this is weird.
Well, all of these seats being empty does certainly throw me off.
Or maybe it's that voice that we're confused on. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. And by golly, is there an echo in here or something? We are here to conduct the... Wait, where is everybody? Did somebody...
Have I come in on the wrong day?
Have we... did somebody...
Oh, bally hell, it is Saturday, isn't it? Oh, damn.
It's just a bank holiday.
Have I mistaken my... Have we got our appointments mixed up? Oh, dear.
Oh, this is so embarrassing.
We are here to conduct the fair and just trial of the defendant, Barok von Zeeks. Guilty. Thank you.
Guilty.
Oh, we're done here.
Counsels for the defense and prosecution. Are you ready to begin?
The defense is ready, my lord.
Oh, it's so weird not seeing Van Zeeks
I know. The prosecution is more than ready.
Bet you didn't think you were
Are
going to
you
be
going
doing
to be
this, Sarah.
No, I did not. No,
Are you going to be throwing bottles?
Oh, that would be funny.
I throw my sword. In
the
the name of justice.
The sword's going to be used. Is going to be featured, I imagine.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, Kazuma-sama.
Mr. Zato, focus.
I can't. My eyes are all blurry.
They're all wibbly wobbly. I'm leaking.
I've been wishing to see you in court again for so long, it feels.
But not like this.
But I never pictured it happening like this.
Nope.
I never thought I'd be facing you behind the prosecution's bench.
The so-called Reaper of the Bailey has been a scourge like no other, undermining Her Majesty's justice system. Today, we must uncover the truth behind this scourge.
In other words, this trial is going to be a lot more far-reaching than Inspector Gregson's murder.
The truths revealed by these proceedings may have unpredictable repercussions through the judiciary.
Yay.
I know, I literally, I saw it and I was like, oh no.
I know, I did. I'm like, come on, Pete, you can do this.
I was like holding my breath. Is he going to say it?
I literally, I still had my mental panic attack as I was looking at it. I'm like, oh no, it's judiciary, it's judiciary, it's judiciary,
Oh, no.
it's judiciary,
Oh,
it's
no.
judiciary.
Oh, no.
Accordingly, they are to be conducted as a closed trial, with no members of the public present. Present? Present.
then who-
That's so that
President?
That's so that when any of the bull occurs, nobody can say that anything like that happened. No one will believe us. We can write our
What
own
about the
history.
shadows who are behind Kazuma? Are those not people?
They're just cardboard cutouts.
Oh, that would make sense.
Oh, I didn't see that. Whether
Yeah, there were shadows
was
of
it-
people, yeah. Look, I felt very lonely this morning when I came into an empty courtroom.
No, that's
It
London's.
gets so lonely in a closed trial. I had Mrs. Judge cut out a couple of people.
That is just London's most wealthy patrons. That's
Yeah.
what that
They
is.
bribed their way
That's
in.
it. That's it. Got to get a bit of coin in there. And whose pocket will it be falling into? Except male Strongheart, no doubt.
The Tories.
Yeah.
By Her Majesty's direct orders.
Do you think we're going to see the Queen?
Probably
No.
not.
No?
I don't think so.
Why would we? Why would we?
I don't know. It just seems like the sort of thing that, they might put in there.
Well, like, oh, we met the Queen for no reason. Did he just shoehorned her in? No, I've been surprised they haven't shoehorned in Jack the Ripper, honestly.
I was
Yeah,
about to say,
same.
that's...
That's the one I would
Well,
have
there's
expected.
still time yet.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true, it's true, it's true. It might actually be Jack the Ripper who was the Reaper.
Jack the Reaper.
Yes,
Jack the Reaper!
Problem was,
Oh my
the
God.
name got lost in translation. It was supposed to be the Ripper of the Bailey. But when they started saying Reaper, I couldn't very well come out from the shadows to correct them, could I?
I've got it.
What?
Post-credits sequence. They're having the picnic. And then they go, oh, it's a shame that Wilson couldn't be here. If only he hadn't accidentally died. Oh, And then Iris goes like, what was that? And then cut to black. Like a few months later. And there's like Jack the Ripper there with their, where they've killed their victim or whatever. They turn around. They walk towards the camera. They pull back the hood. And it's Iris.
I don't like this
That'll get him.
insinuation.
That'll get him. Killing
That'll
my
teach-
father like that.
This'll teach them for lying to me all
Or
this time.
Or something like that.
How will that work, my lord? See, you can see the shadows there, too.
Yeah.
The burden of all arbitration and adjudication falls on my shoulders, and believe
dear.
me, it's extremely heavy indeed. The weight is unfathomable. I can barely sit upright, as you can very clearly see by this unchanged animation. Therefore, as you will see, the juror's bench shall remain vacant today.
But how are they going to use the scales?
I'm going to remotely operate them using this strange contraption made by a 10-year-old girl.
I knew that would come in handy somewhere. If no,
Oh, pff, okay, good.
there we go. I've got they addressed it. If no members of the public are present, might I ask who is currently occupying the gallery, my lord?
Our most wealthy.
Oh, there's people there. Oh, good night. Those are shadow demons.
They are members of the judiciary, here to witness proceedings and ensure an equitable trial. They
Are you sure? Because they look exactly like the same people that are always sitting there behind me.
They absolutely the mannequins. They're waxworks, actually.
Oh,
They're
I have
wax-
been very busy with
they're-
commissions.
Oh, so yeah, they're waxworks that we have commissioned from Miss Two Spells to fill the courtroom. No one actually really cares at all about court proceedings, except for these people watching this YouTube thing. Whatever the heck that means.
Members of the
Oh no!
No.
Oh no!
members of the
catching.
judiciary.
It's catching.
Judiciary.
I'm sorry.
Members of the judiciary.
I am sorry.
Members of the judiciary.
Is this karma for you teasing me because I couldn't say judicial assistant as Susato? It's come full circle.
I didn't tease you. Not me.
I'm only kidding. Okay. Oh my, this is a very unusual trial already.
There is, of course, another unprecedented aspect to these proceedings on which I must elaborate. I only have the ability to cast a guilty verdict, unfortunately, and so it doesn't matter what anybody does. The counsels for the prosecution and the defense are both aliens.
Wow! That's a charming way of putting it.
They're both aliens. I forgot about the button. Of Great Britain.
Do you mind?
I must say, I've never been so offended in my entire life. I believe it takes an outsider to see the truth sometimes. And as I stand here in this courtroom now, I'm quite certain. This is the reason why I had to come to Britain.
Kazuma?
That's enough of that. Anyway, very well. Let us commence proceedings. Prosecutor Asogi, your opening statement, if you please.
Certainly, my lord. Oh, that's a big scroll.
That's a
He's just showing off now, isn't it?
He's like, it's like, I want you to know, Van Zeeks, that even I have a bigger scroll than you.
He'll have just done the thing from college where you do double spacing and then you add in some flourishes there.
Yeah.
It's actually only a couple of words. He just wants to make it look like it's longer.
The first line says, as a language learning model, and then
The fitness gram pastry test.
The incident took place on 1st of November, just after 5 o'clock in the afternoon. The location was a building of flats on Fresno Street on the outskirts of the city. The victim's body was discovered there in an old single-room rental property.
Yes. Inspector Tobias Gregson, a name known very well indeed to this court.
Me too.
Not least for his miraculous resolution of one of this country's grimmest cases 10 years ago.
Okay, so they keep bringing it up, so obviously it's not gonna be what it seems.
Yeah, for sure.
The professor case.
The writing is absolutely on the wall.
How sure are you about the time of the incident?
Several witnesses on the street outside heard the gunshot, and all have reported the same time.
Also, is it not a bit rude that everyone's interrupting his opening statement? It's like, oi.
Do you mind? He asked me.
Yes, that's what Gina told us too. There were a number of witnesses.
I have here a plan of the room. The victim was found curled up in one corner. It's believed that he was shot from the front at point-blank range and died instantly.
That's a big room with sweet FA in it.
Yeah. It's like me making a room on The Sims.
No, it's like me making a room on The Sims. You make quite homely houses. I just go like, okay, this will probably be enough room, right? And it's like a warehouse with a chair and a fridge and like no carpet. And
It's like 2 meters to the nearest fridge.
yeah. How has the range been determined?
2 meters, 2 miles to the nearest fridge or something stupid.
I was gonna say 2 meters isn't. I don't know my metric, but that doesn't sound that far.
I'm
It's
not
not
good
that
at judging distance, okay?
Yeah, to be honest, 2 meters to the nearest fridge is kind of like where it is in our house.
Yeah.
Although, wait, no,
I'd say a
not,
bit
not,
long, a bit
not
more.
from where I'm sitting.
No.
When I think about it, 2 meters really isn't far. Anyway,
Anyway.
Casimir.
There were scorch marks around the entry wound. Such marks are caused by the gunpowder used to fire the bullet. But powder hot enough to leave scorch marks is only ejected a few inches beyond the end of the barrel. In other words, it only happens when the target is at point-blank range.
Oh.
I see, yes. Thank you for the detailed explanation, Counsel.
Point blank range, like someone that he knew and wouldn't have a reason to be
suspect.
suspicious of.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dun 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 dun.
Iris.
Hey, why don't I shoot Bixie?
Oh, thank you for
Gun!
Thank you for the tea, your ladyship. Oh,
Bang!
Bang! Oh, gun! Bang!
I really don't like this picture you've painted of
Do you
me.
know, actually-
I'm an innocent 10-year-old girl.
You know, now that I think about it, it is slightly consistent with, the bullet going up and then throwing
Well, yeah,
him
with
and
the
then hitting the
angles, yeah, that's
candle.
true.
The candlestick. It could have been a
Or
very...
maybe Iris was just showing off her new kitchen gun. Bang! 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 And Gregsy's gone.
Oh, too soon, Taylor. Too
See, it's annoying.
soon.
This is funny. I also hate this because I feel bad about Greg. I feel sad that he's gone.
You should feel bad
I
about
also-
accusing me of shooting people all the time and killing and going off on a mass murdering
She is
spree.
so naive about her weaponry, though.
Well, I'm not going to go around and shoot people. I might want to throttle Hurley every now and again, but that doesn't mean I'm a murderer.
I suppose, no, it is Gina who wants to shoot us in the face with one
Yes.
of Iris's guns frequently, isn't it?
The murder weapon was found lying beside the victim.
Excuse me.
Also, male Strongheart is also a member of the son of a... Damn it, Pete! A member of the judiciary, which means he would also be issued one of those revolvers.
Yes.
What'd I do? What?
You know what you
I
did
didn't do anything.
with your brain. You gave me the mind flayer parasite that makes you say judiciary.
I didn't say anything. I didn't do anything
We've
to you.
synced up our mind flayer parasites, and now I'm trying to say it the same way you are. You bastard.
Oh! What's the matter, Ryunosuke? Having trouble getting tongue-tied, are we?
And it all comes back round. Got him.
Looks like someone can't get his words out now.
This is funny. If you don't know what we're referring to, why don't you check out the Escapades videos, where you can see exactly what the hell we're talking about.
Or, one of the other half a dozen videos where I've referenced the escapade
No, but
videos.
yeah, but it's referencing that video.
That's where it all began.
I think it's the first one.
Yes, it is the
So there you
first
go.
one.
If you want to understand what we're talking about here, if you want some context,
If you want me to just play myself, then go check it out.
that's not.
Because I can't do S alliteration
not,
either.
That's not true. Anyway,
It is true.
And have you managed to ascertain the owner of this firearm?
we should actually play the game.
No, my lord. Not conclusively.
Bravo, Kazuma-sama. Without trying to use the gun as evidence when its provenance can't be proven.
Miss Susato, can you perhaps not compliment the prosecution?
Besides, there's plenty of time for more like kangaroo stuff to happen.
Furthermore, my lord, as I've explained, the revolver was fired at extremely close range. The bullet passed through the victim and struck the wall behind him. There is a candelabrum mounted on that wall.
I'm still confused at how the bullet managed to produce more candle than it started with.
Yeah, like unless the candle melted upwards.
Yeah, it melted into existence. It is strange.
I knew I shouldn't have used my candle rejuvenation gun. Without field testing it first.
Aha! You admit it was Iris. I knew it.
Yes, well, maybe choosing a live subject to see if it would phase through probably wasn't the best idea.
Iris wouldn't shoot Gregson.
No, she wouldn't.
She likes
would
him too
definitely
much.
not shoot Gregson.
No. Who's gonna drink her lovely tea?
Exactly. And the tip of one of those candles it was in... yeah,
And the tip of one of the candles in it.
in it. Right.
On the tip of one of the candles,
They're talking about the tip of one of the candles in the candelabrum. He was saying that he was
Yes.
talking about the candelabrum.
And the tip of one of the candles in it was found to have been blown off by the projectile.
Oh dear.
It was blown off.
The tip was blown off, they say.
My dear fellow.
Oh no.
We noticed that too, didn't we?
Yes, that's right.
Thank you for the thorough report, Counsel. The setting of the crime is clear to me. You will submit the plan of the crime scene as evidence, please.
As you wish, my lord.
Ching. I wonder if should we inspect some stuff that we've got, by the way? I'm just thinking how long it's been since we've done that.
Is this Fresno Street room Inspector Gregson's private abode?
Wait, what are you doing? Excuse me, I
excuse
asked
me?
a question. Yes.
Why are you ignoring me?
Oh, I suppose we've inspected all that stuff. The picture's just a picture.
Yeah, we could say we've
The autopsy report. Yeah, coroner.
Maria Gori.
Oh.
To a shot in the chest at close range from the front, resulting in instant death. Scorch marks the point of entry. The bullet exited from behind. Caliber of the gun matches that of the standard issue firearms for members of the judiciary.
I say because we've inspected the gun, we've inspected the policeman and found that was a key. We looked at the wig, there wasn't anything. Yeah, I don't think
Okay.
there's really anything
No,
to look at the
I
minute.
just thought we'd check.
No, my lord. The room is rented to a Mr. Hugh Boone.
Wait a minute.
But there is precious little furniture inside, and it is generally in a poor state of repair.
You remember? Yeah, we established that Hugh Boone was probably an alias, which will probably come up.
Right.
soon.
Yeah, a person of no significance, like Gina said.
So what on earth was Gregson even doing there?
Unless, it could have been... Yeah, if Gregson's undercover, it could be he's using like a fake name.
An alias.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay. My brain's a bit slow.
It's okay. It is very hot.
I'm dying over here, pal.
You're close to the fan than me.
Throw me a bone.
I wish I was that close
Throw
to the
you a
fan.
boon.
A Hugh
Grant
Boone.
me a boon.
Presumably he was investigating some case or other.
When a policeman was informed of the gunshot from the witnesses and rushed to the scene, he found only the deceased inspector and the accused standing alongside, holding the revolver.
The revolver.
The revolver.
The revolver.
Just like saying revolver.
No. Revolver.
The attending officer arrested the accused on the spot.
So, the details of the case are clear.
In that case, the prosecution would like to call its first witness.
A name, please, counsel.
Naturally. The accused himself.
Lord Van Zeeks?
Wait, does that mean we're going to see him from directly from the front?
Maybe. As a prosecutor, he believes in the oath of office he's taken and will be compelled to tell the truth.
Very well. Let the defendant take the witness stand. It's quite exciting, isn't it, really? Not used to seeing him standing there.
I guess there's no right against self-incrimination in this era.
So, witness, state your name and occupation for the court.
Barok Van Zeeks, Old Bailey prosecutor.
I presume, Lord Van Zeeks, that you heard Prosecutor Asogi's opening presses.
I did.
It is alleged that you were found at the scene of the crime, and that you were arrested by the arriving police officer. Can you confirm this?
Yes, my lord.
And I'm sure the court would like to hear you explain some things away. Namely, why were you there in the room on Fresno Street at the time in question? And what exactly took place?
I intend to explain away nothing. I will simply tell the truth.
I must say, Lord Van Zeeks, I never imagined this day would come. Or rather, I didn't want to imagine it would come, but since you became known as the Reaper, I did fear it was inevitable. A part of me has been dreading it. Your formal testimony, then, witness.
Blah, blah, blah.
I was investigating Gregson, and my inquiries had led me to that address. When I first entered the room that day, it was dark inside, and I saw no one.
But I have dark visions.
A moment later, I heard the gunshot. I spun around and saw the revolver on the floor. Just as I picked the firearm up to examine it, the door flew open and I heard a man scream. It was only then that the body of Inspector Gregson appeared before me. It does sound a little bit whimsical, doesn't it?
That testimony was the whole truth?
And nothing but. It was.
So, you heard a gunshot being fired in a room with no living occupants. And moments later, a corpse somehow appeared before your eyes? Is that it?
I mean, when you say it like that, it does sound somewhat outrageous, doesn't it? I appreciate. However, by appeared, it was obviously released from something or someone.
Yes, I'm sure you're going to say that little pixies came and dropped it off.
Oh,
You're right. You haven't explained away anything. In fact, that would barely qualify as an excuse.
Oh my goodness.
fiery. I thought you were my mute apprentice.
Well, I've got a lot to say, believe me. It's been
Yet-
5 years.
Yet it turns out you have a way with words, Professor Asogi.
You flatter me.
It would appear to be a singular tale indeed.
Singular isn't the word. It's laughable.
What's got into Kazuma? He's not behaving like himself at all.
He's almost
He
like
must
he's
be getting very hot.
He's being a villain. He's acting like a villain.
But it's because he's wearing white and we're wearing black.
Do you
So
think
it's like
the light-
Persona 5.
do you think
where
the light-
Robin Hood's wearing white and but the protagonist
Joker.
is wearing black.
His name is Joker.
Joker.
Taylor. You played the game, Joker.
I know I played the game.
Also, do you think the light will beat the darkness? Or do you think the
I think
darkness
the
will
darkness
beat
will defeat.
You think the darkness will beat the light? No, I think the light will No, it's the light will beat the darkness. I did it the right way the first time. Yeah.
It's one of them.
Very well then. Counsel, you may begin your cross-examination.
Yes, my lord.
Try not to make me look too bad.
The facts of the incident.
Press everything.
I was gonna say, is it the usual?
Yep.
It's the usual. All right then.
Hold it!
That was a yawn. Hold it.
Oh, sorry.
It's warm in here, okay?
You shush. You can't talk to me about heat. I'm dying over here.
I'm dying, pal. You were investigating the inspector. What on earth for? He'd begun wearing a red wig around the office.
I am not at liberty to say.
Well, that's rather inconvenient. Sorry!
I'd identified a distinct possibility that Gregson was involved in a case I was investigating. Regrettably, though, he was killed before I could secure the proof I needed.
Is the court to understand, then, that on the day in question, you followed the victim to the scene?
Yes, I suppose that does implicate me, doesn't it?
No. I was privy to his movements in advance.
How?
I stole into his office in the yard and consulted his diary.
That's a man's private, words.
You can't look at a man's private diary!
The address on Fresno Street was noted in the 5 p.m.
All me
entry.
pawns! His sword!
All his sordid illustrations.
My diary's my little, hidden gem of sweet, bitter secrets. Or whatever. I can't remember
What
what's
is
his
it?
artist.
I was gonna, yeah, it's the
A man's diary is full of bittersweet secrets!
Yeah, something like that.
something like that. Yeah.
You illegally entered the man's office. In Japan, that alone would constitute a very serious offence.
As it does in Great Britain, I assure you. Is that not the case, Lord Van Zeeks?
The rules don't apply to me.
I was aware of the possible consequences.
So, in summary, you were investigating the victim. And yet you refused to tell the court why?
Miss Suzette, I'm beginning to have second thoughts.
Yes, I'm afraid I don't admire him as much as I once did. I'm sorry for judging you on the SSBO, Mr. Naruhodo.
I didn't realise British prosecutors enjoyed such freedom to choose what to divulge under oath.
Why did I ever think I could defend this man?
More fool you, I did warn you.
Hold it! Had you ever been to the address before?
No, never. I only learned of the place as a result of my investigations into Gregson's activities. There was no light inside when I entered, so it was all but impossible to make out anything.
But at 5 p.m. the sun would only just have gone down. But it is London, so I suppose that doesn't really matter.
Well, the windows were boarded up.
Oh, yeah.
It would still have been reasonably light outside.
The room has a window, but it was boarded shut. Very little light found its way into the room from outside, so it was extremely murky inside.
Murky, that's an interesting way to describe a room.
I wouldn't have noticed if the victim was already lying on the floor. Also, I have terrible eyesight, remember?
There was no artificial light in the room, you say? You're quite sure?
I'm quite sure that part of the room where the body was found was very dark. Is this where we then show the candles have been burned down?
Yeah, maybe.
I have a feeling there was a small oil lamp burning on the desk, though I couldn't say for certain.
Look, Mr. Naruhodo. There is a small desk in the room just here.
Yes, I remember. There was an oil lamp on it. as well as the framed photograph.
Quite all right, Mr.
The
Naruhodo.
flamed photograph.
The framed photograph.
When I entered the room, I closed the door behind me and started towards the desk to investigate.
And what did you find?
Nothing. Not even his fan fiction.
Nah.
I never actually reached the desk. Do we... I suppose we haven't got the candles. Oh wait, we have got the candles.
Yeah, I've got the candle and the
It
frame.
was found on top. The candles appear to have been blown out. I mean...
I just wonder if we hear everything first.
Yeah, but I feel like that's my initial train of thought.
Hold it! So, who fired the gun?
I have no idea. I didn't see anybody else in the room.
But you say it was very dark in there?
Yes, that's right. All I can tell you is I didn't sense another's presence.
Failed on his perception.
Rolled a crit,
Aha!
crit fail.
Then, could it be...
Well, if he rolled a crit fail, it would turn out that he probably did end up killing Gregson by accident.
That's true.
Duh.
That's true.
that the gunshot actually originated from somewhere outside the room?
Makes sense.
No. That's out of the question.
Damn. Oh.
Without doubt, the sound emanated from inside the room. I could smell the gunpowder.
Ugh, this is going from bad to worse.
And you say that's the point at which you noticed the revolver on the floor?
Correct. And I foolishly picked it up. That was carelessness on my part.
I mean, yes.
Presumably, then, the gunshot you heard came from the firearm that you somewhat hastily took in your hands.
In point of fact, my lord, I believe it did not.
What?
The barrel of the revolver I picked up was cold, and there was no smell of gunpowder.
Interesting. Oh,
Spent powder.
slap.
But then, where on earth, but, oh my god. But then, where on earth is the gun that was fired?
Whilst I would like to oblige you with an answer, I'm afraid I can't. I, too, would dearly like to know that.
Hold it! A man, you say? One of the witnesses, I presume?
That's right. One of the street merchants working on Fresno Street.
Who are these merchants?
A number of them had set up their stalls directly beneath the boarded window of the crime scene. A match seller, a newsmonger, and a peddler. They've all given statements saying they heard the gunshot, and without thought of danger, they'd run inside to see what had happened.
Yes, Gina told us about that yesterday, didn't she?
They burst through the door with some force, it would seem.
They did. And almost gave me a heart attack in the process.
But you're supposed to be the Reaper.
The first man to come in immediately noticed the revolver in my hand and fled.
And then I was like, oh, damn, that was a bit silly of me.
A policeman patrolling on Fresno Street heard the commotion and was able to arrest the accused shortly after the incident occurred.
Anyway, the man's scream drew my attention in that direction.
Hold it! What do you mean by that? In what way did the body appear?
I honestly can't explain it, but it's the truth. As far as I was concerned, the body hadn't been there until that point, and then suddenly, there it was.
Oh no, someone tore off some wallpaper that was covering up a pillar.
Oh, no.
Did you perhaps hear the sound of the victim falling to the ground just beforehand?
At that moment, what I heard was the sound of the door flying open and the scream of the man who came inside first. Nothing more.
I see.
After the man fled, I examined the body. I was stunned to find that it was Gregson.
Most curious circumstances indeed.
How the inspector was killed, or how his body seemed to appear out of nowhere, I have no idea.
Objection! Surely the court has heard enough. My lord, the cross-examination has clearly revealed that the accused Barok van Zeeks is lying on multiple fronts.
What? What is that supposed to mean?
Good gracious, counsel. The defendant is lying, you say?
In his testimony just now, he claims that he failed to notice the victim's body because the room was dark.
That's correct.
No, that's impossible. As proven by this candelabrum.
Oh no.
How does that prove anything?
Do you think that candle is a gun?
No, I was just going to say, could it be that the candle was shot off and then they lit the other two to be like, oh yeah, look, the candles have been lit, look. You can... But obviously the other ones had the top blown off it, so they couldn't hastily light it. I mean, you could, but for whatever reason... I don't know. No idea. I don't think the candle's a gun, though.
It you examine.
Oops.
It you examine the tip.
The first spelling error.
If you examine
The tip.
the tip.
If you examine the tip of the long candle, you can see it has been blown off by a powerful impact. Well...
One would assume that the projectile from the firearm passed through the victim and struck the candle.
The problem comes when you consider the other two candles, which are clearly of a different length.
Yes, I can see that only the candle that appears to have been struck by the bullet is long.
We could reasonably expect someone to have lit all three candles together. Which begs the question of, why only one has ended up longer than the others?
That must be because that particular candle was extinguished when the others were still burning. Ah, bother!
That's right. When the candle was hit by the bullet, it obviously went out. But the other two candles would still have been burning. So the fact is, the victim's body would have been illuminated by the light still thrown by the candelabrum. And the accused claim that he couldn't see the body clearly contradicts those facts. And now to the next lie.
There's more?
Oh, yes. I've not done yet. The accused also claims never to have visited the scene of the crime before.
That's the truth.
In that almost empty room, the police discovered something very unusual. A board covered from top to bottom in police documents and newspaper cuttings.
Yes, that's right. We saw it too.
It goes without saying that the contents of the police documents cannot be divulged. However, they included a number of reports from various historical cases, the oldest of which was from 10 years ago.
10 years ago? This is starting to sound familiar.
And there is a common thread linking all of the documents on that board.
Indeed. What is this common thread, counsel?
They all relate to cases prosecuted in court by Barok van Zeeks.
Look at that smug face.
That is smug.
That is
I
so.
don't-
Oh,
I
wow.
don't like this. I don't like being the baddie with Casimir.
All of them?
And furthermore, all those cases are the ones in which the defendant was acquitted.
Good Lord!
Interestingly, none of those defendants are alive today,
I see what he's doing.
because all of them have been sent to their graves by the Reaper.
Oof.
Ah.
Oh no!
In short, that dingy little room is the Reaper's secret hideout and his base of operations.
It would seem that way.
The Reaper's hideout?
And yet the Reaper would claim never to have been in his own secret hideout?
I mean, I feel like that's a slight leap of logic, but you know.
No one would believe that. No. The truth is, we've been looking at this backwards.
Backwards? Explain yourself, Counsel. What is backwards?
The opposite to going forwards, Your Honor.
What? But I've never gone backwards.
Inspector Gregson was investigating the identity of the Reaper. When he discovered the location of the man's secret hideout, he was killed. As I'm sure everyone can imagine, by the Reaper's hand.
What?
This doesn't look good, it must be said.
Order! 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 Honestly, for a closed court, you're all very loud. Very well. I hereby state the current opinion of the court.
But what is the current opinion of the court?
Well, I haven't quite said it yet, yes.
Well, unfortunately, you're going to have to wait to say it, Your Honor, because we're out of time.
I mean, I suppose, honestly, this is probably quite a good place because it will remind us next episode where we are.
That's true.
So it's for the best, honestly.
Indeed. And I don't want to be bad Casimir anymore. So
I'm sure he won't be bad Casimir
I
forever.
hope not. Thank you very much for tuning in and watching once again. If you do like what we do, then please consider to give us a little old like, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell, and you'll be notified of our video uploads every Wednesday and Saturday.
Yeah.
And until next time, we'll see you again.
Catch you in the next one, everybody.
And remember, if you're going to have a secret hideout, make sure it's well illuminated so that you avoid any unfortunate accidents.